Thanks for staying with us on Across Louisiana, Acadiana Style, brought to you by Mellow Joy, the original Cajun coffee. Welcome back Amy Falgout with the Vermilion Economic Development Alliance, and I think we'll just say VEDA. Is that the easy?
Make it easy.
Make it easy. Good to see you.
You too.
All right, so you guys have a job fair coming up.
We
I
do.
would imagine with the way the economy is turning a little bit that it's going to be a big one, huh?
Yes, we're really excited about the number of employers that are participating too. So there are people hiring out not only in our community but across the region. So we're looking forward to a big number of employers, and hopefully we can match those up with the right people.
All right, so tell us about where and when, and how people on both sides, how people looking for a job and how employers can participate.
Sure. So we have a great partner in the Vermilion Parish school system. Abbeville High School is going to be the location. They're loaning that to us while the kids are out of school for spring break. So March 30th. We're going to be there from 9 to 1. And we're making it accessible to anyone and everyone, free of charge, both for the employers and the job seekers. So we have some great sponsors for the day of. Lofton Staffing and KTC Pace, one of our local companies, kicked in some funds and helped sponsor it. So we don't have to pass out along any cost to our employers. So we have this website where we're creating a central repository of all information, including who's already signed up to participate, the application information, and how to get plugged in. So that's developvermilion.org/job fair. And like I said, we have all the information about the application details for employers, and we're actually doing a pre-event for job seekers that they can find out information on the website also.
So it's like, dress like you want a job.
Exactly, exactly. And so we understand that not everybody's going to be able to participate in those pre-events, so any kind of tips and tools that we can pass along to the job seekers and the employers will be housed on that website.
And talk about some of the other folks, some of the other companies that will be with you.
Absolutely. So we have a huge diversity of employers that are participating. Everybody from the healthcare industry, our local hospitals and local healthcare clinics, to HVAC. We have laborers. We have some oil and gas industry companies who are hiring, who've managed to navigate through the tough times and diversify their business base. So we have some local partners also. The Vermilion Chamber of Commerce is teaming up with us, as well as the Louisiana Workforce Commission, the local workforce investment boards, One Acadiana, Fuel Vermilion, which is the young professional organization. So basically everybody's rallying together to make this happen.
So what's the vibe down there in the parish?
It's actually really positive. I think that Cajun ingenuity is at play here. And so if people can't get by with their traditional lines of business, they've been able to tweak it slightly and tap into new markets. So everybody's really hopeful, and they're prepared to ride out the storm. So.
All right. Well, anything else? You need volunteers to help you run this or anything?
Volunteers would be fantastic. Like I said, we're going to be there from 9 to 1. We're going to set up the day before and tear down afterwards. So if community partners are willing to come out and give us a hand, we'd love to see them. We love institutions of learning, any private or public, students to come out. So since there are going to be such a huge variety of jobs, from internships all the way to high qualified professional careers, anybody and everybody's welcome to attend. Okay,
well, we're going to put your information on the screen one more time as we close out. And thanks for coming and good luck with the event.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to take you down across the state a little bit over to Homus House. It is a historical home that entertains. Take a look at this feature.
I realized that there was a need for historic homes to be used for entertaining, whether it be for weddings or grand galas, for conventions and things like that. So I went out to try to find a location that I could use to develop for fine entertaining. And after searching for 2 years, I'd kind of given up, and then all of a sudden Homus House came up for sale, and I got it under contract the day after it was listed. This was the base camp, if you want to call it that, for the Homus Indians. They planted the trees here, the alley of trees, the grand live oaks here, as a gateway from the Mississippi River, and the alley of trees brought you to the mound where the Indians had their celebrations and where they lived. In 1770, they sold the property to Alexander Latil, who's a Frenchman, who built the original French house here in 1770. And it was a small trading post house. Then there were a succession of sales, and in 1812, Wade Hampton bought the property to develop it as a sugarcane plantation. And he built the big house, which is known as the Homus House today, in the front. And it went through a series of transitions, changes, through a 20-year period to what you see today. His wife said she wouldn't live in the swamps of Louisiana unless he built her a temple. In 1828, they added the grand colonnade around the house to make it a temple, and she came and moved here. Culture, architecture, gardens, and fine dining. We do all sorts of events here, from grand galas for conventions as well as weddings. And weddings happen to be one of our major sources of business today. We've built 2 ballrooms where we fulfill all the dreams of brides who want to get married, just like the weddings in Gone with the Wind and other such famous movies. So we're running tourism, we're doing historic renovation. We have 38 beautiful acres of gardens for people to stroll through. So it's not sitting on the porch having mint juleps.
The approach I had on developing the site was to preserve the historic value of the house and the history of the house, but also to allow it to bring in entertainment, dining, and different things that people may want to do at a historic home. I've traveled my whole life visiting historic homes, and my favorite is the Biltmore House in Asheville, North Carolina. And they have taken a historic house and created a winery. They've created several hotels, bed and breakfasts, and things like that. And it's those things that were done there that gave me the idea of what I could do at Homus House. We have now 3 restaurants here. This is our most recent, the Carriage House restaurant. And it's a very elegant room, as the ballrooms would have been in the day when they were built, but it's a little larger than what would be normal for a house. This is where we serve a more casual fine dining. Beautiful atmosphere, but you can come dressed as you are and try the delicacies of Louisiana. We also built cottages here, and the cottages are very luxurious rooms. There's 21 rooms that can house 70 people. And it allows you to spend several days at Homus House at a time, so you can really take it in. Many times when people come to a place like this, they may check in at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and check out at 10 o'clock the next morning. You can't take in a property like this under that basis. So you should really stay a little bit longer so that you can have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner, and experience what the property is. The gardens are magnificent, and unless you take the time to casually stroll through them, you just don't realize what they are. The gardens are constantly changing. There are 4 distinct seasons here, and the gardens reflect those seasons. And you can come every 2 weeks and see new things blooming and the changes that are taking place. So it's very important to have these changes so that people won't just come for one visit and think, oh, we've been there, done that, not returning. By having the gardens changing and the restaurants changing and everything else which changes around here, it makes people want to come at least 4 times a year. It's very difficult to get your first customer to come that first time. But once they come here, they enjoy it so much, they become repeat visitors. I feel I failed if I can't get you to come here 4 times a year, because it's just truly different each time you come here. We're just south of Gonzales. We're on the River Road. And most people know where the Tanger Outlet Mall is, or Cabela's, and we always tell them we're just 1 exit towards New Orleans from there. It's very easy to find, and we would hope that people would come and stay at the inn and just truly experience what we've created at Homus House, because it's quite unique, and we think it's one of the wonderful places to visit in America. Our website is www.homushouse.com. We're on Facebook, of course, as Homus House Plantation and Gardens, and we're friendly with all social media.
We're going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, April Corville from Festival International is here to talk about all the things going on in 2016. Stay with us.